there are Christian conspiracy theorists who question everything, and they literally question everything, and they are involved in politics. They are involved in almost any aspect of anything on Facebook video or YouTube, and they are all along the buzz. They wondered who actually killed Charlie Kirk. They wondered if 9/11 was done by the U.S. government, or one thing that may be coming into light, which really isn't that important, is chemtrails actually modify the weather. And these Christians who are in a growing number into becoming a conservative figures, they question literally everything. But the one thing that they do not question is the Bible. Now, I am not saying that you shouldn't question the Bible, but question the pastor or the church and the things that they teach, because no one will question them, because they think that they are telling the truth and all that is true. But the reason that they say that is because they want to hear what their itching ears want to hear, because it pleases them, it makes them feel good, it makes them feel safe and secure. But the truth is, many are on their way to hell, and they have chosen the way of hell as if that is pleasure, in disguise as if you are going to heaven, and that is not the truth. For Jesus said, many are on the path that leads to destruction, and many who will say, Lord, Lord, will not enter my kingdom. I will tell you truthfully, I was one who believed a lot of conspiracy theorists, where back in 2014, Comet Eisen, I thought the supposed comet trail was gonna actually do something to the earth, or supposedly the comet trail hit Mars, and somehow one of the biggest volcanoes on Mars erupted, but actually is not true. And if it was true, that's not really a concern. And realistically, it didn't do anything to the earth anyways. And one thing I remember was when supposedly the end of the world, or Rapture Day, September 23rd, 2015, this was when I was first in high school. I remember that there was a lot of fear of me wrapped around that day, into thinking that the rapture was going to happen, or I thought that in lunch half the cafeteria was going to be like just vanished out of there, and I was just praying that, Lord, forgive me, as if, like, because I wanted to be saved, and I thought that if I did that, then I would be raptured out of there with maybe some other Christians that may be in the school. And then it turned out that was false. There were other things, or conspiracy theories, or lies that I believed in over time, and eventually I came into the truth about Jesus and who he really was. And at first it was hard for me to believe. In fact, I actually rejected it and hated it, because I believed in a doctrine that I wanted to believe, or it was actually because I wanted to believe in what made my ears itch and what made me feel good. But then one day, I asked Jesus to reveal to me what was one of the people talking about on his YouTube channel about the churches, it just didn't make sense to me. And it really did not make sense to me what he was talking about, because it was sealed. It was not for me to know at the time. And it was because I hated the truth. And then what ended up happening is that one day, because I asked many times, the Lord eventually revealed to me things that church was doing. And I said, Lord, if this is true, get the youth pastor and his wife out of there. And then I prayed it again a few months later. And then the youth pastor and his wife left about 6 to 8 months later. And Black Friday of 2022, I ran into him, and he told me basically that the church was stealing money. They were basically teaching things that were not okay, and there was a third one that I don't remember what it was. And then later, a month and a half later, that's when I asked Jesus to reveal himself to me in a dream or in a vision or any way that I can clearly understand. And what ended up happening is that he did, but it was not on good terms. He told me, I don't know you, depart from me. And back and forth, me and Jesus are deliberating, and at one point I begged him to have mercy on me, and I just said, Lord, please, and I felt physical tears come down my face. And Jesus said, go and tell others what you have seen. And I did. But what I didn't realize is eventually people would reject that vision that I had of the Lord and what happened, as they declared it as if it was false, or if it was Satan messing with me, or it's just a made up thing in my head, or maybe just I'm crazy. They can question that, but they won't question the supposed you have to tithe to the church of 10% of your paycheck. You have to go to church every Sunday. You have to fellowship. Anything that we say feeds you, so you have to come to us to be spiritually fed. It is by man alone of a religious figure in church, the pastor, must feed you, not a being above us. By our worship and our songs, and by the blues and the feels that you hear and feel, and the songs that you sing, you are also fed by that as well. You can even follow Jesus your way, and you can still go to heaven. Or if you have a surrender moment during a song, you are actually saved. And that's just a fraction of what the man-made doctrines of mostly all churches preach, without even saying it. Some of them are insane enough to where they actually say that. And the truth is you have to follow Jesus. And they have made it to where that you have to follow Jesus through the church. Someone in front of my face, when I came into the truth a year and a half later, said that. And this was after 24 hours when Jesus saved me from demonic possession. Somebody said, the only way to have a relationship with Jesus Christ is through the church. And I said to myself in my heart, oh my gosh, they are lost. And people that think this are indeed lost. And the thing is, if you even dare question a Christian, that if you say, no, that I question that, they will think that you are Antichrist. They'll think you're the devil to say, no, you don't have to have a relationship with Jesus through a church, the physical building. They will think you are evil for that. They think that you're going against God, but in fact, by your doctrines and by your words, you are leading people into hell and making them twice of a child of hell than yourself. And many people are doing that. So when you hear conservatives questioning everything, or Christians that they believe every conspiracy theory as if something is true, but they don't question the teachings and doctrines of man, it makes you think that they love lies, and they love the pleasure that it gives them. So in the beginning of the video, I think I may have said that that if you question a Bible, then, and I said something like that, and forgive me, I'm a little tired right now. It's actually 11 o'clock at night, and I'm very tired, but I will tell you is that you need to get your revelation from Jesus, not from doctrines of man. And I would not say question the Bible at all. Question those who are teaching the Bible as if they are speaking a lie, because there are many things that they say that are absolutely not true at all, and they will say, no, what we say is true, and they'll use scripture to prove their proof text, like Satan did when Jesus was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. And I'm just basically here to tell you guys is you need to question the things that the church teaches. Now, yes, if you see a conspiracy theory, honestly, I would say is you can watch it all you want, but don't even accept it. And I'll even say this to go even farther so I won't lead any of you astray. If you even watch it once, it would be best to just not watch it again, or don't watch it for a while, because the truth is, if you just waste your time watching or listening to conspiracy theories, then that's all your mind is going to be consumed, and you're going to end up being someone who puts tinfoil on their head, thinking that 5G or 6G signals are to do mind control. And if somehow in a CIA top secret document, somehow that's even possible, it makes you wonder what time are somebody spending their time with information that literally means nothing. For all you know, the CIA could have hired witches and behind the scenes wanted to delude for that moment of something of people's minds, thinking that, oh, cell phone signals or radio frequencies can actually control minds, but actually it was witches through the power of Satan were possessing people and stringing people to do what they wanted, if you know what I mean. So that's what I have for this message of conspiracy theories. May Jesus bless you.